Good morning, everybody. How we doing today? Out here, we're going to do another video hopefully today. This is going to be an interesting one. I've done a whole lot of coal mining videos, this, that, and the other, and interviewed different people. Today we're going to talk to an older gentleman. He's quite a bit older, and his name is Johnny. And he worked in the coal mines way back in the day when they hand loaded and stuff. So yeah, let's go visit him, see what he's got to tell us about what he done as a coal miner back in the day. This is going to be interesting, people. So let's go check him out, see if he can tell us a little bit about coal mining. I'm sure he can. I think he said he was 38 years underground. So let's go check him out. We'll get back with you just in a bit, all right? Okay, folks, I told you I was going to get somebody out, hopefully, that coal mined way back in the day. I know we've done different coal mining videos, but who we have here today is Johnny Walters. He's from McDowell County, West Virginia, and he's going to do a little bit of telling us about what he did back in the day of coal mining. Johnny, tell me a little bit about yourself and when you started, about the years you started in the coal mine.
I think it's about 63.
63.
So I got out of service in 62.
What was you in the service? Oh, so you're a veteran.
Yeah, I was in the Army.
Oh, in the Army. Okay. Can you tell us how old you are? About how old you are?
Well, I'll be 85 first of
85. Look, folks, look here, man. This fella here don't look 85. That's for sure.
Feel it.
Okay, tell me about your first day in a coal mine. What it was about? What did you do?
First day was shooting coal.
Shooting
my
coal.
Stepdad, he got me help him shoot coal, and I wasn't supposed to be in there. I was too young, really.
So there wasn't no such thing as red caps back in the day, or that time?
Well, I never knew nobody wearing a red cap then. No.
See, it's modern day time. You have to be under 6 months under, in front of a black hat or that. But back in the day, it wasn't like it, was it?
No. Well, he got a little mines, him and his brother, up at Keystone.
Uh-huh.
And took me up there, me and his brother, younger brother. He was younger than I was, Jimmy was. Well, you might have known him. Jimmy
no.
from Branch Mountain?
I've heard that name.
Okay.
We was talking about shooting coal a while ago. What's shooting coal about? What did you do to shoot coal?
Well, you have to drill it, and then you put the powder in, and you put your dummies behind it.
Now, what's a dummy?
Dummy is a newspaper that you make them outside. You put dirt in them, and you have to tape them after the powder.
You see me smiling, but I helped my uncle when I was just a little boy. He'd take newspapers and put sand and stuff in them.
You done that every night, every evening when you come home.
Hey, we'd slip and shoot coal at night above the house, because that was illegal to do. You're supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
We'd go shoot it, and then we'd go back to daylight, and we'd take a wheelbarrow and go back up and under there and wheel it out the wheelbarrow. But you was talking about the dummies. But go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead there.
You put your dummies in there, and then you used you had it on cable that you hook to your cap. If what it is, you got to drill a number of holes to cover the area.
Right.
And if you didn't know what you're doing, you didn't shoot much coal because you had to keep it square like.
Right. Yeah, sort of V out.
And,
right.
And but anyway,
okay.
I've loaded coal for a certain fella when I started working with General Mathers. I went to New Jersey,
Uh-huh.
and me and Shelby, and came back and was looking for a job. General Matthews sitting on his porch, and he's dead and gone. But anyway, he asked me, "Hey, you looking for a job?" I said, "Sure am." So he and I hand loaded coal together for I'd say 3 years.
I was going to ask you. You said you hand loaded. Did you get paid by the car, or did you get paid by the hour?
I got. That's what I'm going to tell you. I got $1.55 a car. It was a 5.5 by 11.
So how many ton you think it about is? Daddy said
know.
something about it like a 10-ton car, what they used back in the day to hand load with.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all
I
used.
don't know what the tonnage would be in the car, but I know you had to have it heaping.
Heaping.
Yeah, and then some mines, the place was so low out there at Piats. If you loaded the car very heavy, if you was in a place where it was higher than the coal would scrape off, the car.
Wow. The mines I worked in was around 7 or 8 feet high.
Yeah.
Now, you worked in mines that you had to crawl around in,
26
right?
26 inches.
26, folks, just think what 26 inches is. You just about have to lay down on your side. And did y'all use rescuers or anything like that? There wasn't no rescuers back in the day, were there?
There wasn't no such thing. No, you had to no rescue. You didn't have nothing back then. I don't know. Well, yeah, I know they had to use something in the big mines.
Right.
But
now I used a cap light to see by, but when you first started,
well, that's what we had.
Did you ever use anything like this? And tell me what this is right here.
When I told you that I went to work with my stepdad, that's what we used right there.
Okay.
I didn't know nothing about putting carbide in it, the water in it, and how you.
Can you kind of explain that to us? What, just like if you had it, open it up there, like you're going to open it up there and screw it. Yeah, come off there.
Yeah. Well, you put your see your carbide down at the bottom right there in your water. I believe it got a water top up here.
Up on the top right
here,
there.
yeah, right there.
Right.
Put your water in there,
Okay.
But light it and adjust your flame,
Right.
You just had to adjust your flame to work. Show the most light and not use the less carbide because you didn't have much money.
So if you was in a gassy mine, and you could blow yourself up with that thing, couldn't you?
Well, I think a lot of explosions was done like that. My grandpa, he was a mine foreman down at Roterfield, and I'll show you sometime where they was working at. They was back there almost the whole length of Red Barn Holler, so they drove way back in there. And
see, I'm getting ready to do a video on Havoco explosion. Did you have anybody in there that you knew that blowed up in that mines? The Havoco explosion?
Mines. I know I had 2 uncles that worked there. Bully was in there, Bully Jones. Let's see, I was trying to think that. I can't remember. I think Shag was in it.
Yeah.
But they weren't injured,
I guess.
one of them.
See, that thing blowed up twice, real early, and then
I remember when it blowed up.
So you remember that?
Oh yeah, it blowed holes in the company store over there, that big, and it's way you know where Havoco's at, don't you?
I do, yes.
Okay, I'll show you sometime where the company store's at, and it blowed holes that big, big rocks.
They tell me there's a graveyard over on the hillside where a lot of the immigrants that was working there the first explosion.
Yeah.
They're buried over on that hillside, they say.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me.
I don't know where that. At the time of that explosion, I was a little kid.
Was you?
And and Mommy started crying, and I said, "Mommy, what you crying for?" She said, "Well, it had explosion." I said, "Well, what happened?" She told me. She said, "It's Uncle Bully and Uncle Shag's working there." She didn't know whether they was
if they're alive or dead.
Yeah, and that's what she was crying about. That's how I remember it. And then I came up through our, I'd say probably 4 or 5 years after that. And it blowed holes in the company store, everything. It killed quite a few. I don't remember.
Well, tell me this. What kind of machinery did you operate when you was in the mines? Do you know what a cutting machine is? Did you use a cutting machine?
Yeah.
I figured you did look at smile on your
I've
face.
run one for years.
The cutting machine.
Yeah.
So how did that work? Did you use shuttle car? Just tell me a little bit about the machinery that you used.
Oh, I used everything.
Everything.
Yeah, miners,
Continuous mine,
machines, cut machines. I run the cut machine up till retired.
Folks, listen here. This man right here operated that machine when you didn't have support over your head like canopies and stuff like that. They didn't have canopies back in that time.
No.
Which they do now.
Right. I hadn't thought that much about it, but
yeah, you was working right out there in the open. I mean, it was bolted up, but still.
Yeah.
Well, no, it wasn't really bolted when you was mining. You're not.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you rode on them too, right? You sat on these things.
You sat on the side of it.
Yeah. And now they don't. They got a remote box. They stand back there in a break somewhere out away from it and operate it.
Yeah.
Wow. And you run a shuttle car? Did you do that too?
I run a shuttle car too.
So back in the day, you just wasn't give one job. You was multi. You done everything in there.
Oh yeah.
Right. Belt moves. If you had belt line.
Exactly.
You did. If somebody wasn't there that day, it's running a shuttle cart. That's what you done.
Yeah, that's true.
What?
I mean, that's just the way. That's what you did,
Yeah. But you've done that before.
Oh,
You've had to fill in for people like that. And now, well, when there's union, a lot of times, people will fuss about that. I don't want to do it. Ain't my job. But, back in the day, you had to do stuff like that.
I run a 970 Goodman load machine at Waco.
Uh-huh.
And that thing was so quick that you had to watch it.
Folks, I'll try to get you a picture of a 970 Goodman up here. Show you what it looks like.
And that thing it went so fast that if you didn't watch it, it'd hit you with a rock, Or if you got a big one into the boom, it'd come out and get you. It was very dangerous. And then you got to watch this guy that you're loading.
Right. So y'all use belt lines, or didn't you not use belt lines?
Well, at Waco we didn't.
Right.
They used battery motors and cars,
Right.
And they had 4 of them.
So where they had belt lines, did y'all ride the belt line in and out of the mines?
No, we had a man trip at Waco.
Okay. So, I've heard before in the past that they used the belt line actually to ride in and out on them.
I have done that.
Right.
Number 6 now, it was, I forget, 28, I think, inches high, but you had to stay down low.
28 inches. I couldn't imagine it, Johnny.
Well, I'm telling you what, let's say Frank's dead now, though. I don't know. Junior, it was low. Hey, I tell you, my uncle, I got him a job there, and he was a big man.
Right.
And I told him, I said, it's real low. And me and him loaded coal together, and they have one place that's real low and everything, But anyway, him and his loader worked with him, they picket us all the time, me and Shag. And the place was, I forget how high it was, but it's very low. The coal was 26 inches, But it's a low place in that.
Right.
And we'd go, you had to take your pick and put it through the shovel to push the shovel, And we was going to change some places, and he said, "Go on down there and did it, Shag." Say it there for you.
Folks.
Shag said, "That's all right. It pays too."
Folks here in Appalachia, a lot of them had different ways of talking.
Yeah.
Unless you've been around people a whole lot, you couldn't understand a lot of what people said.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what kind of coal did you mine? What was the name of the coal? You have red ash here. You did. You had the sul seam. You had 3 seam, 4 seam.
I don't know which one it was at Waco. But they had 3 different mines that I worked at over there. Number 6, Jackpot. Jackpot mine. There's a lot of guys.
Well, didn't you work in a little mines down there by where you lived, out Shabby Run?
Oh, yeah.
What was the name of that seam? Do you know what that was?
That's Sul.
Sul seam.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right over from the house.
Uh-huh.
I worked 5 years there.
So you've been in every little hole in this county, ain't you? At one time or another.
I have. I've worked a lot of places.
Tell them about the smell. There's a smell of a coal mine that you will never forget.
That's exactly right. And I don't know. There's just something about it. Well, I can't remember where it was I was working at, but it was up in Shabby Run where I lived. But anyway, when you went through under the curtain, I don't know. It just
Under the curtain, what was curtain for? You got people here, they want to know what curtain is. What will you use curtain for? What's that all about?
That's what you could use to guide the air,
Okay.
to where
To turn it different directions, like up in the face.
exactly.
And all that.
And then you have stoppings.
Right.
Where your stoppings, where you drove a place across or something, and you want to eliminate it, you put a stopping up there, and that guides your air too. When you make your airway.
Right. Well, tell me a little story, something that's happening in the mines here, Johnny.
This guy, his name was Frank, but I don't remember his last name. But anyway, he was running a load machine. I was running one of them old battery motor cars,
Mm-hmm.
And I loaded and went to the ramp to dunk. When I come back, the other load machine, the other motor was waiting. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "He just got killed."
Oh, my.
He said, this right in between, a little piece fell out and Buster broke his deck or something, killed him,
Wow.
That sort of devastated me.
I bet it did. I bet it did.
His name was Frank something, but I don't remember his last name.
Right. Wow. So it's a very dangerous place.
And then a boy came there, and it was his son. Worked at the same mine, but he didn't work long. He was working for my uncle. They had one of them Wilcox miners.
Wilcox Miner.
That boy's working. My uncle was the mine foreman over that. He's the boss over it.
Right. So a Wilcox Miner, is that got bits on the front of it and oscillate?
It just does that,
Okay.
But anyway, it was dangerous. You had jacks that pulled it. What you did, you jabbed it against the top, and it had a rope at the bottom. What pulls it tighter, That's how it pulled it. It had one to pull it forward, one to pull it sideways. Because it went across like this.
Well, there's one thing I can ask you, have you done? You ever roof bolted?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, what kind of roof bolting machine did you use?
If there's a guy living right now, I don't know, but he'd tell you I was the fastest they had at Maitland.
Really? Well, what kind of bolt machine? Do you remember any name of it?
Oh, I run several different kinds.
Mm.
When they changed the double head that had the canopies,
Right.
I was working at Maitland,
Maitland. Is that over in the bottom there?
Down in the ground.
Yeah.
Way
A slope.
Yeah, it's a slope.
I was a security guard in 1985 at Maitland.
Was you?
In 1985. And I didn't have my underground papers or nothing.
I worked on the East of Main at Maitland.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got to go to the down at the mouth one time. I'd never been in the mines before.
Hey, coming up out of that slope in the wintertime, holding that rope. You talk about something, all that air coming down through there and your hands numb as...
I think the name of it at the time I was there was called Seneca. They changed names many times.
Yeah.
Maitland mine into Seneca mine. I think when U.S. Steel.
Console bought it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think Gary.
U.S. Steel, yeah.
U.S. Steel bought it.
The last time, I believe the last part of it.
Couldn't
keep water out of it. It's like a lake in there.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the water would come from Cannelton. You remember?
We had a dip in East Main that dipped down in the water, and the guys pick at each other. They tried to run through it real fast so it'd drown everybody.
They said a lot of that water came from Cannelton. You remember that mine's Cannelton up the road there?
I worked a few shifts up there.
You worked there too? Gosh, Johnny.
Yeah, I worked everywhere. Yeah, I worked there at the John Farmer and all that bunch.
Did you ever make your mine foreman papers?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I bossed
you done some
South
bossing?
Bank. Yeah, I was the main boss at South Bank.
So you've done almost everything in a coal mine.
Yeah, I loved it.
Really?
I tell you the truth, I hated to even quit, but I got disabled.
Well, didn't you do something to your hand in the mines, or?
Oh yeah, that was at Waco when I first went over there.
Well, tell me a little bit about that. What happened to you?
S&S battery motor. That coupling the car up, and you had to sit up on the deck to reach down and get the tongue to pull it up there and guide it.
Yeah, like a car of a train.
So I put my hand like this on the motor, and when I backed up, he jackknifed that and got my hands.
Wow.
See what it done?
Yeah.
They was going to take them fingers off, and I said, no, you ain't taking them off.
Tell them why you wouldn't want to take them off, because this man's a guitar picker.
Because I love to play the guitar, and I knew if they took them off, I'd never play a guitar again. But hey, I mean, you can see the shape they're in now.
Right.
But
85 years old.
I can still.
You still play? You can still play.
I can still play, but I don't play with it like they used to. You know.
Right, but
I need to get back on it.
Yeah, just you got to keep your fingers limbered up, don't you?
Oh yeah, mine's got stiffed up, you know.
Yeah.
But I used to really love guitar playing better than anything.
Oh well, yeah, I know you. I do. I play too, but this man right here is a picker, buddy.
I ain't now.
He do some of that Chet Atkins stuff.
Oh yeah,
back in the day.
picking.
Yeah, absolutely.
I learned that from Russell Underwood.
Oh really?
He taught me. Yeah, that guy was good. He could pick exactly like Chet.
I didn't mean to get off on guitar picking, but I wanted to put that in there because this man is a guitar picker and a coal miner. And
you are too.
Yeah, I play a little bit. But.
Oh, you're a guitar player.
But I just wanted to bring y'all along today and let this man tell you a little bit about underground. And got anything else, Johnny? A few more minutes and we will.
I actually loved it. I'm telling you. I mean, I did. I hated it.
You know, they say either you love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
It ain't no in between of coal mining. If you either love it or you don't like it. Now, I liked it.
Well, you know, I worked at an overseas packing place up in Cleveland, and it was an easy job, but I like coal mining.
We done moved outside, folks. It's about 75 degrees out here. He's telling me a little bit about it. Something happened to his ear. Tell me about that, John.
Well, me and this other boy was working together, and we was fast loaders. But anyway, there's another old man that he couldn't load very much. They had him singled out by himself, and you had to drill and shoot your own coal. So that's gotta be.
Folks, we moved out here. It was all quiet, and then you get this guy come by with no muffler or something. Go ahead, John.
But anyway. We had already cut our place ahead of his place.
Right.
And actually taken a break toward another place because that's why they had us together, you know.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, he drilled out and shot the dynamite in the wide open and busted my eardrum.
In the wide open? What do you mean the wide open?
Well,
without being tamped?
Yeah.
Without remember the dummies that you was talking about that didn't use no dummies?
No dummies.
The dummy didn't use no dummies.
No. No. He just hooked his cap onto your cap got wire, you know.
Okay.
And put his cap in his dynamite and shot it. And it busted my eardrum.
So to this day you can't hear out that ear.
I can hear a little bit, but
not
I can't.
Much.
Not much. Yeah.
Goes to show you, folks, you got to be careful under there.
Hey, man, I mean, that's back in the long days, long back.
Folks, that was interesting, I thought. Good to be able to talk to the fella there. He had a lot to tell us there for sure. And I'm so glad he was able to give us a little interview there of what he done and all that, of the years he worked underground, and also that he was in the military, and we sure thank him for his service for sure. But folks, we'll go ahead and clear for today, and thank you for coming along with me. We'll do another video for long. So this is Appalachian Roots with Dan. We'll catch you next time on the next video. Catch y'all later, folks.